Hello, everybody. I'm not too good at the intros, if you haven't noticed, or at the
Hey there,
general.
everybody. This is a new arc of our adventure in Arctale. How are you doing?
Stole my lines, damn it.
You were flubbing every single word.
What else is new? It's like you don't know me or something. Anyway, you might see by now that I've actually got like a character still drawn and in my corner of the ring. It's somewhat crap,
A
but
little bit.
a little bit. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have much opportunity to draw like some people. Yeah.
You know what? That's actually something that I can do during this is that we can is that I can just draw my own thing.
Oh, there you go. And it might be ready by the time I post this.
Probably. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? I think you knows. Now do it.
Oh please. I not only am I a lazy artist, I'm a slow artist, and I barely get time to work on this stuff.
Well, I'm just slow, so hey. Well, I've actually got a question for you when we start this thing out. So,
All right.
I've got a video for you that sort of leads into it. You only have to watch about the first five, 5 or 10 seconds, I believe.
All right. This ought to be good.
Yeah. Because this came up a few months ago on Twitter somewhere, and I forgot where, or else I'd mention them.
That would immediately gelatinize her legs.
Okay, that's the exact point I was talking about. See, the person who it was like a reaction thing on Twitter. Someone was streaming that they were, and that happened, and then he paused the game and he immediately started going on a rant. And the person who posted like their take on it is seriously, that's the only problem you have with this game, kind of thing. Like in a game where
Like
there's zombies walking about and there's biological terrors, that's your breaking point?
well, she fired a railgun, and you better show like a GIF of it, so that way people know on what we're yelling about.
I'm gonna have a couple of stills and everything, so yeah, don't worry about that. But
But it's just like, I mean, I can handle the zombies and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like I a she would probably not be able to lift that. B, it broke the ground. What are her legs made of?
that's a good point. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking like the selective realism thing is where that first guy's argument kind of lost me. Because it's like you've got a huge biological mutant. Like I'm assuming that thing that she fired at was Nemesis at one point, and it just went out of control.
I mean, I don't know. I've never actually played Resident Evil 3. I played 1, I played 2. Wow, I played Code Veronica. I played 4. I've played 5. I've Is 3 the only one I've not played?
Three's the one that no one's ever played because for some reason, okay, before the remake came out, I couldn't even find like playthroughs of it on YouTube. Yeah, I
And you can find like 10-year-old let's plays of the first and second Resident Evil.
that's how I knew what was going on in Resident Evil because I didn't actually play those games. I just watched them. But I I am convinced, and I have not seen any evidence to the contrary, that the original Resident Evil 3 was just some fever dream that everyone collectively had. Because,
Or it was Japan only.
no, because I've heard, like, I've seen a couple of the cutscenes that were in English audio, unless they were just, like, really good dubs. But, I don't
What
know.
do you mean? English dubs are flawless. Ha 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 ha
Okay. But, anyway, my big question for you involving this was sort of like, at what point in games can you no longer just say, yeah, okay?
All right, my breaking point is when if a world sets up rules.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are rules in it. Like I'm going to use an example from Call of Duty, whichever one it was that introduced the like exosuits.
Advanced Warfare.
All right, at one point, these exosuits have been shown to do like amazing things, like really, really like just cool things. And then he's struggling to move a car
Yeah,
as his partner is getting the shit beat out of him by someone that I don't remember if they did or not, but I don't think they had a suit.
it wasn't.
So
It wasn't hit like with an EMP or something like that, or like.
no, he just had like a car. He just had like a car like shoved into him. And it's just like, I mean, I can understand if like he's still like groaning after getting hit by a car, but it's just like it's like, dude, come on,
Gee.
like 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 I think it was like maybe a like part or two prior to this where the char- where the character literally just like ripped an iron gate straight off of it off the off the wall just with just like funk with one arm, and it's just like that would require so much force, and they did it with one arm.
Hmm.
I mean, to be fair, Dwayne the Rock Johnson uh, tore his metal gate off.
I'm sorry, tore his metal gate off?
Apparently, it wasn't opening up fast enough for him, and he was late.
So by all that means, just tear it down.
He can probably reasonably get another one.
Someone with his kind of cash, yeah. Someone with his kind of cash, just that's just how he leaves every day. He just tears it open, and then there's a construction crew like just down the road, and he's gone. We're on a timetable. Let's go put up the new one and be here in 8 hours when he gets back. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, my realism breaks when the world breaks established rules. Like there is absolutely nothing that shows that the main characters are anything but human.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have impressive strengths of feet. They aren't like bursting through walls. They are human. And this 100% breaks any sort of establishment that they are human, because no human could withstand what just happened.
Okay. Even if it is Jill motherfucking Valentine.
Oh yeah, no, she was sending a love letter with that shot.
Cupid's not fucking around anymore. But no, I'm gonna have to kind of agree with you there. Coming into this, I honestly thought that taking a look at it, I thought I would have a much more like. I was thinking that I would be a lot tougher on this kind of stuff, but I would give Resident Evil, yeah, okay, because how much zany shit happens in that series, really.
I mean, over the years, more and more.
Yeah.
It's like a form. It's known as spectacle creep, where the things in the next game have to out outdo what happened in the previous game. Otherwise, it won't feel as big.
Yeah.
That's why Avengers went from saving a town to saving a country to saving the world.
To saving the universe. Yeah.
Yeah. So as progression of events go on, the it has to one up itself in order to stay relevant in audience's mind, because we are honestly very susceptible to just being like, oh man, there wasn't like 3,000 explosions in this one, so I wasn't too impressed,
Yeah.
even if the story was like so much better. better, the general audience would still pan it for whatever reason.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that.
And that's why Michael Bay Michael Bay, he is like the champion of spectacle creep.
I honestly, okay, I'm not doing this to be like a whole, oh, yes, I never watch him. But no, I just pretty much don't watch too many movies in general, so I can't say that I
There's
haven't
a
watched him.
reason there's a reason why the meme of his movies is explosions and hot girls and soldiers.
And hot girl explosions.
I mean, technically, in the second one, if you count
Well, she does blow up?
a there's a robot uh there's a robot girl that is like attacking him, and I don't remember if it blows up, but knowing Michael Bay, it probably did.
Oh, okay. So there's even something in there for like the people who have hots for robots. Gotcha.
Yes, I'm looking at you.
Hey, it's not robots. It's well,
Cybernetics.
yeah. I'm sorry. I just appreciate a well-crafted synthetic leg.
Well, you know what's not well crafted? The stock market.
Oh, jeez.
It is. I mean, with all the shit that has gone on the last few days over there, it is astounding watching it all.
I really wish I bought into the second round stuff, but I honestly thought that it would get axed and everything. I thought they were actually going to shut it down.
I mean, they did try to shut it down.
They well, I thought they were going to pull some legal bullshit and be just like, "Yep, no, you got to pay that all back. Yep, all done."
I mean to be fair, I think Robinhood is now preventing people from buying specifically the
GameStop.
well, no, GameStop and like a couple other ones that these hedge funds were betting to fail, and are now basically aiding them and making them fail
I
because they're now preventing anyone from purchasing those stocks.
they I don't know about the other ones, but I know at least GameStop that got reversed either yesterday or this morning. I saw that on the news before I left for my parents' place.
How are they, by the way?
Uh, well, my dad needs a new hip, and he's as crazy as ever. Also having issues with the no, not uninsurance, unemployment office because his not well, one of his previous employers screwed him over.
Sounds about right for the employment world.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm still trying to get a new thing myself.
But I wish I knew it was going on when it was going on. So that way I wouldn't need to worry about my rent month to month.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, this kind of does this kind of does beg the question of if it's going to be a reoccurring thing. I mean, I think I'm going to have to start going on Reddit now.
It was Wall Street bets, and according to actually some like legal or not legal analysts, people who like regularly make these bets, they they were saying on how people on Wall Street bets are actually better than some people that they work with.
Like, better at predicting the stock or better at just dealing with.
Yes,
Okay.
which I find astounding because it's just like with everything that
Congratulations, Wall Street. You got beat out by a bunch of neckbeards in their mom's basements.
one of my favorite memes to come from this is the Joker standing in front of a mirror, and it goes like hedge fund managers about to tell their boss that they lost billions of dollars to potato in my ass.
What?
That apparently that was one of the users that were on. I think that might have been one of the. It was like Reddit user potato in my ass. and it's just like try to imagine telling your boss. So a guy named Potato in my ass outmaneuvered us, and we lost a couple $1 billion. And it's just like,
Oh wow.
uh,
Yeah.
that seems to have tickled you. But it's like one of my favorite memes to come from this. It's just like all it's just like all these like hedge fund managers needing to explain to their boss that they lost money, and then putting like some of the more like ridiculous usernames that people had.
Damn it, Johnson, you're not going to meet your quota this month. Now, I want you to reach out to this potato in my ass, potato in your ass, sir. That's what I said.
It is beautiful. It is hilarious, the and the rich are fighting back by calling the no fair rule.
Yeah. No fair. It's
Hey,
only
no
legal.
fair. Reset.
It's only legal when we manipulate the market. Because, okay, I don't know if I told you, but I actually used to try to do this, the stock trade thing myself.
Oh, no, but I can already. But I'm going to guess it went okay.
It's okay. I only bought like two or three things. One I bought stock in a thing that was making semiconductors, and another thing that did green energy.
I mean, green energy is not going to take off until there's like the Green New Deal. Because when the Green New Deal, if it ever does come out, is probably going to force a lot of technological boons in green energy.
Hopefully. But the thing is, I didn't know what I was doing with stock trading, so it's like, okay, well, tech's always advancing, so semiconductors are going to be a thing. So if this company sells more, do I make more? I had no idea what the hell I was doing. All I knew is at the time I was working for a shipping company, which I don't know if I should name on a thing like
No,
this.
don't.
Yeah. Oh, it's one of the big names that I absolutely hated because this was back in the days of paper paychecks, and for a shipping company, they couldn't even deliver us our paychecks on time. We often had to wait for it to come half a week late. That was fun. But
Yeah, my first job was at a bakery,
oh,
and yeah, I got paper checks as well,
mm,
and the boss I still, even though I worked at a gas station, I still say that my boss at that bakery was the worst boss that I've ever had.
do I dare ask how so?
He was a my way or a highway type, and it did not matter what the scenario is.
How
If you tried speaking up at him about like something that he was clearly wrong on, he he would he would like threaten you with like taking away your hours and that kind of stuff.
Okay, how can you be that way about baked goods? Because I've had my fair share of baking fuck ups. If you do it wrong, it comes out wrong.
He, I mean the way that the way that technically works he is that let let's say cuz he all right. I got this job almost a decade ago. I have to remember every things that happened. Okay, so I think one of and this is actually the reason I eventually got fired.
Mm-hmm.
I He was very sensitive if people said something bad about him, and I dropped a 60-pound bag of sugar on my toe, and the guy's name was Michael, and I just went fuck my toe, and he thought I said fuck Michael, but I said fuck my toe,
Oh,
and he told me to just go home if I was gonna be that way.
jeez. And that's what got you?
Eventually, he said that my attitude is not right for this place of work.
Ah, shit. That they said the same thing to me at the shipping company. Like, they gave me the whole like, I don't think you have a passion for your job. It's I don't have a passion for my job. I am picking up boxes and putting them on a conveyor belt. How do you do that
I
passionately?
well, first off, I mean, you have to get the special boxes that Solid Snake has. Prop it up and give it a nice right smooch, so that way it knows how passionate you are.
Okay, when you're saying special packages, for a second there, I thought you meant that one time we ended up handling a bucket of bull jizz.
Sounds about right.
Mm. Uh, oh boy, I hated that job.
All
But
right, so are we on the segment where we just talk about jobs that we hate? Because I did say on how I worked at a gas station,
that you did.
which was
Let's actually try to avoid that section because I don't want to get talking about my current job. Y-
you really don't want to put that on the internet.
I not until I have another one secured to thank you because I'm already working a lot of hours off the clock just to keep my management off my ass. Um, let's talk about something that we're more into. Like that one game that you showed me that I'm looking forward to, Mech Mechanic Simulator.
I thought that you would really dig it because I know that you are a big time fan of simulator games, and you're also a technophile.
I, I don't know if I'd say technophile. I just have a very nice appreciation for the mechanically inclined. Mechanically inclined?
Right.
I don't know if mechanically inclined is the right word. No, because the mechanically inclined. No, it might be. I don't know. I don't have a dictionary right in front of me right at this moment. But no, it's the thing is I was messing around in Unity trying to figure out how I could make a game like that. Like a year ago or so, and then you're like, "Oh, hey, here's this." It's like, "Oh, okay." But no, I'm definitely I'll tell you right now, I'm definitely going to pick it up because I've already got I've got Train Mechanic Simulator, I've got one of the Car Mechanic Simulator games, I've got Construction Simulator. I I have not picked up Airplane or Tank Simulator yet because I'm, in all honesty,
A madman.
well, I am quite mad. Yes. Uh, but honestly, it didn't look like the gameplay was varied up enough, really. Like the car simulator game was the first one I got, so that's a pass. The train mechanic one, you actually have like a salvage car that you like take out onto the track and like get more trains and stuff. I haven't played as much of that one as I really want to, so I'm probably going to end up downloading that. But Mech Mechanic Simulator, apparently there's some stuff that you could like. I'm gonna have to take a look at it again, but I think it there was something about how you can go around in the mech and like do some combat stuff. Which, if that is the case, then hell yeah. In fact, I'm looking it up right now.
And I'm not really interested in the game, so I'm not going to bother looking up anything about it.
I can't blame you. Mech Mech Mechanics Simulator. Become a mechanic to deconstruct, rebuild, paint, and fix gigantic iron machines. Let's see here. Yeah. I'm seeing a couple of screenshots. It looks like you've got a whole HUD and everything, so you can actually do some combat-like stuff. Oh, they've got a demo out. Okay, well, I'm definitely going to check that out later. Um, but yeah, Juby, my editor, actually convinced me to, well, part-time editor. I still edit some of my own things. Anyway, he convinced me to not do a thing. I was going to start doing like scheduled theme days for streaming. Like I was going to start doing City Builder Saturday and Simulator Sunday.
And how's those view counts going?
I haven't even attempted. He pointed out that I'm pretty much the only person I know of that likes those kinds of games.
He's not wrong.
He's not. Although I will say I had a couple of people enjoy my Frontier pilot sim, but that's because they were waiting for me to crash, which I yeah.
Can't blame them for.
No, I can't blame them, and I can't fully remember because it was a while ago, but I think a couple of times I didn't disappoint them. I do
Yeah, explosions.
I do remember a couple of times I kind of panicked because I forgot the controls.
How do you forget? Okay, you know what? I actually can't say anything because on multiple occasions I have been like B.
Well, the thing is, I actually don't have a HOTAS flight stick. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But I don't have a HOTAS flight stick with a controllable throttle, so I have to find the button that locks the throttle in place. Or else I have to constantly, feather the W key in order to keep the engine up.
Oh my!
Because it's a game where you're flying VTOLs. So
I actually like VTOLs.
I like the idea of them. The thing is, they don't actually work as well as they should in practice yet. Like, apparently, with the existing VTOLs, like the Harrier jump jet, uh, I forgot what the thing is. I don't even know if it's for the current iteration of them. But there were a bunch of engine issues with those. Uh, they must have worked them out because I think of course they must have worked them out because the Falklands, I don't know if they're calling it a war, if it's just a conflict of some sort. The Falklands happened in the 80s, and I think the British were using those then. But current VTOLs like the Osprey are a disaster. That's the ones that the U.S. Marines are using. Apparently, they're coming out with commercially available versions.
Yes, commercially available versions
Yeah.
that you'll definitely be able to pick up, right?
Uh, well, if you can afford a private jet, you can afford one of these things. And then
Oh,
and then
oh,
please do,
like
because if you're the kind of person who will get a private jet, something tells me the world will be better if you pick up one of these things.
I mean, I mean, you're not wrong. It's just like
It's a
if
it's a
I
little harsh, you know.
if I actually had any sort of money, I'd probably be the person that's just like, because I've already proven that even with my low income, I'm stupid. So I would probably still donate way too much to things
I
like.
I know what you're talking about. I've got a couple of people who I definitely know could use a bit of a hand, and
Well, I don't mean that. I mean like I when this was like years ago at this point. I think probably about 4 years ago, maybe even 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
where I would go into places and I would start and I would see how much it would take for a bit ping to pop up onto somebody's feed, and I would try to start a bit war with people.
Oh, on Twitch.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. A bit war.
yeah.
What's a bit war?
Where it because you'll have like the top three donators or whatever, or the like top donator of the stream, and I would continuously bet like one above whoever was top, and it usually wasn't all that much. It was maybe like I went into one and it was like top donation was 25, and you had like 8 people there, and then someone was just like, well, you know what, I'm gonna bet this. Well, I'm gonna bet two more, so I'm ahead of you. Well, I'm gonna bet two more, so I'm ahead of you. Well, I'm gonna bet two more because I'm ahead of you.
Jeez.
And I would do this regularly as like a pastime. More often than not, I didn't even like watch the streamers. I was mostly just messing with the chat, but at the same time, I was I was technically donating to the streamer. So I thought, it's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't do that stuff anymore because I don't think I've bought bits on Twitch in probably over a year and a half, maybe 2 years. I'm just a lurker in most streams I'm at now.
It's one of the things that I want to do, but I just haven't gotten around to picking up bits. And I don't watch as many streams as I want to.
I mean,
I don't do a lot of
you're a
stuff.
busy you're a busy adult with many important things to do.
Yeah, going to the job for 10 hours a day.
To fix other people's jobs, and then and then get yelled at because you're not doing your job well enough while you're still trying to fix other people's jobs.
One time my supervisor actually, like in my old department, my supervisor called me on a Sunday to say, "Why are your production numbers so low?" It's, "You assigned me to fix that other guy's stuff."
I know. I'm so glad that I work somewhere where my job performance technically doesn't matter. I just have to not be an asshole, and I had to just not do it wrong.
Lucky bastard. I'm I'm hoping I can get something different soon.
I mean, you've been doing that job, searching for what, almost a full year at this point.
After the latest round of BS, it's been a year, but I've been kind of just passively searching for like two or three now. Or no, not two. Because it was it was right around BLFC 2018 where I got swapped to a new department, and then things just started going downhill from there. When was BLFC? BLFC was it was the same
I wouldn't know.
it was the same weekend as Mother's Day. So hold on.
March? No, that's May.
Uh Mother's Wait, where'd my cursor go? Oh. 2018. It's Sunday, May 13th. Okay. So it was in May 2018 that I really started taking up the job search. But you want to know what's the screwy thing with that?
Hmm.
Okay. A couple of people have come and gone since then, but up until last week, I was still the newest person in that department.
Yeah, jeez.
People come, they work for a week, they leave. sometimes just in the middle of lunch.
Where they'll be looking at everything and be like, yeah, fuck this shit.
Well, one of the reasons is they don't train people. And if they do, they get put with people who. Well, one of my coworkers. This sums it up perfectly. I go to one of my coworkers because one of my pieces of software stopped working. So I'm like, oh, hey, for some reason I can't do this, this, and this. Well, if you installed it right, it would work. And then she wouldn't help me further.
All right, then tell me how to do it right, you bitch.
I do that, and then I get accused of calling them jackasses. Like, I went to I think she's at a supervisor role or a project lead role or something, one of those two things. And so I turn in this thing. It's like I haven't worked on these in a long time, so I followed the manual, but I still got stuff back on the quality check that it said was wrong. And you said this, this, and this, but the manual says this and this. Oh well, you're also supposed to, you did A and B, but you're also supposed to do C and D. Oh really? Why is it not in the manual? Well, I didn't think I had to put it in the manual. Okay, well, I mean, like, all I have is the manual. Uh, it, Ark, I'm not trying to be a jackass to you, don't be one to me. Excuse me? Okay, you know what? I've got training, I'll see you later, because they were training me in on another type of job as well. And the thing is, that's what it is for pretty much everything at that place. And then they wonder why they can't keep people on. But the thing is, it's also one of the most well respected. The company is one of the most well respected ones around here.
Be being the king of shit still means you're shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much that pretty much sums up this area perfectly. And the thing is, I am so far out of the way of everything, and I'm on the border of another state. The closest place I can find a job is 2 states. No, not 2 states. 2 hours drive west of here. That's the first actual city. But the thing is, that's a different state, and I don't have a driver's license for that state. I've got one for the one I'm in. If I move like if I move like 3 miles south of here, I'm in another state.
Always fun.
Yeah. So I could try going to the opposite end of the state, which is even further, and it's going to be a pain. And in all honesty, there's still a whole bunch of issues. Or I could go even further. I'm looking further. But I'm sorry. I said that I wouldn't go off on a rant about jobs.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't help that I prodded you with that one.
You're fine. You're fine. I should show a bit of restraint every now and then.
The hell is restraint?
It's that thing that meth dealer tried to take out on me when I was 12.
All right. Anyways,
Anyway.
so as far as games go,
Yeah.
I have been like in a real slump where it's just like I have a bunch of games that I want to complete, but every time I look at them, I don't want to play them.
I'm kind of in the same boat as you. Cause like I said, I want to really get into train mechanic. I want to do more cyberpunk. But I look at them and it's like, do I'm not so sure if I really just want to play anything right now. and then I just end up sort of just sitting there. Because it's like, I'm, I don't know about you, but in the back of my mind, it's like, can you really play a game now? You've got to do this. You've got to do this. You gotta vacuum. You gotta finish up the dishes. You gotta get your model making stuff all together. And then before I know it, I spent 2 hours just sitting there staring at the wall making a mental checklist, and that's my weekend gone.
Yeah, sounds about right. Hey, everyone who's listening. We're adults. Our our life sucks. So what? Watch us have self-deprecating humor where we actually try to be entertaining.
Try being the key word. Uh, nah, I'm hoping that I can actually get something going at some point. Um, I mean, honestly, I would love to sort of like full time do like, I don't know what you call it, like podcasting and twitching. Just I think that would fall under broadcasting.
It would.
It would. See, the thing is, for the longest time, I always wanted to do broadcasting stuff, but quite clearly, I have a face for radio, I've got a voice for newsprint, and I've got the creative direction of a coloring book. Okay, you've seen my stuff.
Come now, don't sell yourself short. You're you're as creative as a crossword puzzle.
One that's already been filled in, probably. But I don't.
And then you have me, and I I just always I really try my damnedest in order to. All right, and now that I realize that we probably shouldn't be uh, conversing about this, but I'm just gonna say my part, which is my brain no good, my brain no goo.
And yet, you actually have fans.
Somewhat.
You, face it. Out of the two of us, you're definitely the fan favorite here. I mean, given that's a very low bar on my end, but whenever we stream, when people show up, it's people who know you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
more often than not.
yeah. It's run with it. I mean, it's definitely working for you.
I mean, when it comes to most of this, it's usually what would make me laugh, and I go with it.
That hey, it works. I think I think for me, an issue is I'm really just trying to learn how to properly express myself. Like I come from a family that like if I tried to put myself out there, then my parents would kind of make fun of me, kind of thing. And up until I was, how old was I? I was I moved out in 2016. How old was I? That's uh I can't math. 5 years ago. So yeah, up until I was about 25, I was still living with them. So it's 25 years of if I really tried to express myself when I got into my teenage years, they would make fun of me for it. So I'm I'm still trying to get over that kind of stuff.
I moved out at 21.
That's what I should have done. I just could not. I for the life of me could not afford it.
Well, I technically moved in with my sister at that point because she wanted to live on her own, but she did not want any roommates that she didn't already know.
Understandably so.
And so she immediately went to me and goes, "You'd only had to pay this much a month. Do you want to go with it?"
Sounds like a good deal.
Oh no, it was a damn good deal. Like, and I lived with them until last year, when I finally moved out, and I'm now living by myself in solitude with no one to talk to but myself.
You get used to it.
Oh no, I'm already used to it. To be honest, I just stayed inside my room the entire time.
Mm, nah, that's honestly, I would have offered my brother the same deal if not for two things. One, my apartment is not big enough to have more than one person in it for too long. And two, he's one of the people I moved to try and get away from.
Hmm.
Like, thankfully, his girlfriend is. It seems like she's made a really,
Headway.
yeah, a really good positive impact on him. But still, I found that I get along with him a lot better when I only see him like. Well, let's see here. He moved to that
Once
city.
in a blue moon.
Yeah,
You don't have to be specific with this one. Just say like once in a blue moon, might.
yeah, pretty much. Because now he's living like 2 hours away. I will admit I am a little, I guess you would say, miffed that my parents visit him like every other weekend. Yet, if my parents want to see me, they make me drive over to them.
Well, what do you mean favorites? We don't have favorites in this household. How dare you?
I mean, I guess it's kind of their excuse to like go shopping because that's he where he lives is like the closest like place where they've got a Target and Costco and all those stores. So shopping
Oh,
excuse.
oh, 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 right. I forgot that you live out of it.
Out of it is an understatement. I I believe Juby said that I live in the bumfuck nowhere of bumfuck nowhere.
I live in somewhat of a city on my end.
Yeah. It's I might show you on Google Earth about my approximate whereabouts, and you'll say, "For fuck's sake, people actually live out there? I thought that was just wasteland."
I mean, hell, North Dakota's a place.
Oh, jeez, I've been to North Dakota before. That's not, okay. We've got more than North Dakota. Okay, we've actually got geography over there. It's just a flat plain for the whole state. But real quick, speaking of geography, you will never guess what they're planning on putting in this area. Like not here, the opposite side of this part of the state. They are putting in a
Not even gonna let me guess.
no. Go ahead. But I it keeps on blowing my mind every time I think of it.
I'm going to say Tesla decided that this place is good for business somehow.
No. I well, tangentially could be related to that. But no. They are putting in a a space program, a private venture space program.
Hmm.
They are spreading it out to three different parts. They've got a command center on the east side of this part of the state where it's I'm wondering why, because there is almost nothing there. There's a Air Force base that they abandoned a long time ago, and the that community is being propped up by having a uh I forgot if it was a state or a federal, but it's a jail. The only thing that's keeping that part of the state afloat is the fact that there's a jail there. They're,
Yeah, incarceration.
yeah, they're putting a they're putting in a horizontal launch facility somewhere. I forgot where, but I remember looking it up earlier and saying, "What?
Is horizontal or vertical better?
It it depends." And there's another layer to that I'll go on about in a minute. But in my opinion, like I have to look into it more, but horizontal, that's kind of like the space plane thing, where it's not just a forward thrust up into the heavens. It's you take off and then you just slowly rise up and up and up. I think that uses less fuel. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm gonna have to look into that.
You're probably not competing with exit as much, and you're probably going against the curvature of the world. Either against or
That
going with it. I don't know which one would be faster.
that goes into the next point that I've got, because they're also putting in a launch facility, a vertical launch facility, somewhere on the coast of Lake Superior.
Hmm. I guess they're wanting the most superior program around.
Oh,
Did you expect anything different?
good point. But okay, so here's my issue. Here's my several issues. For one, everything is so far out of the way, the logistics are going to be a nightmare. There's currently no facilities with that kind of manufacturing capability around here. So they're going to have to really construct that from the ground up. Um, they're planning on moving a bunch of people up over here. That is going to be a nightmare because there are pretty much no amenities. So unless they're planning on really pumping money into the local economy to really just build it out of almost nothing, like the the cost of living
For
over here is low. You get what you pay for.
less and less and less.
Less and less and less. Yeah. Um. So and like because we're so far away, everything being moved up here is going to be a nightmare. You can expect long delivery times, and it's so far out of the way. You can expect to pay a premium to have equipment moved up here. Uh, on top of that, the vertical launch facility is in pretty much one of the worst places you can put it in the states outside of Alaska, because you want that closer to the equator, because when you launch you want to angle it against the rotation of the earth. That way you get a sort of gravity assist. Or wait, do you go with the rotation or against the rotation? I think you go against the
I, I mean,
rotation.
I mean, I mean, I asked that already.
Yeah, you asked that already, and now I thought I knew it, and
Eh,
now I'm doubting myself because you're going against the rotation of the Earth. That's why they have it closer to your neck of the woods down in Florida.
Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's pretty much the closest point to the equator you can get in the states. The European Space
I'm
Agency,
is Hawaii closer?
I think they're actually a bit further north than you are. I think they're on par with California. Hold on, let me look that up real quick, because now, uh, here, let's just check out good old Google Maps. Uh, hold on, it's loading up. Oh, No, it's a bit further south, so I'm assuming the only reason they don't I'm assuming the only reason they don't launch from
It's
there,
an island.
yeah, logistics, once again. But the thing is, by having it this far north, it means that it's going to require more fuel to get into orbit, which means the rockets are going to need to make space for more fuel, which means they can deliver a smaller payload. I mean, not they can, they have to deliver a smaller payload, which means it's going to be more expensive to do the job. This is a money sink.
Hey, I should mention one thing.
Hmm.
Private.
Pretty much, yeah. But no, there's a reason why the European Space Agency they actually don't launch from Europe. They launch from French Guiana, which is I want to say where is French Guiana? Hold on, I've got maps open, so I'm looking up right now. I want to say it's somewhere in the Caribbean. The British Virgin Isles, Jamaica. Why don't I just type this in? French Guiana, right there. Oh, okay, it's not in the Caribbean. It is actually a part of South America. We're just north of Brazil.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is almost right on the equator. They have a prime spot to launch right there. And of course, you got Russia, who launches from Kazakhstan, which they. That's. Is that farther north than it? No, that's pretty much on par with where I am. But the thing is, they can only go so far south. Because, they're up
China.
they're up there. China,
Yeah, yeah. They have to worry about China.
yeah. Well, China's on par with you.
It's the China. It's the China virus.
Oh, dear Lord. Apparently, they're looking into it because it might not have originated from Wuhan. It might have originated somewhere else, and it just ended up spreading there first. I don't know.
It was new. It was someone playing New Game Plus.
Oh, dear Lord. No, if they play New Game Plus, they start in Madagascar because that's the first place to always lock down.
You usually either want India or China, so that way you can get that sweet er, early game and spread infection spreading.
I suppose it's been years since I played that game.
And for anyone who's wondering, we're talking about Plague Inc.
Yep. My brother actually paid for that game at one point.
I mean, it's on Steam.
He bought the mobile version.
Hmm.
Yeah. Wait, did he buy the mobile version? Yeah, he did because he had everything unlocked. I think. I don't know. It's been years since I've since I've looked at his phone. It's been a while since I've dealt with the kid, and even longer since I've actually checked out his stuff.
I think I see my family almost daily. Uh,
I
Maybe not that much, but
well, I think you've got a bit of a healthier family dynamic than I do.
probably.
Eh. I mean, I have to actively hide a number of things about myself from them. Like,
And there's only like a few things that I hide from them. Like my mother knows I'm an artist. I'm not gonna tell her what all I make,
Mine does.
or even near what I make.
Yeah. Mine. Uh, well, let's see here. Mine found out what furries were because for like a couple of weeks they were actually like somewhat popular. Like they were the in thing at the high school back when my brother was in high school. And my brother's at the time girlfriend was into it. And so just to play along, he actually wore a tail one day. And so I believe what my mom said was they're freaks who need to be reminded that they're human, and in exchange for never wearing a tail again, my parents bought my brother his first pair of Converse.
He was playing the long game.
Yeah, that's the only kind of shoes he'll wear now.
Eh. Always. I just say let people like what they will like. If they ain't hurting anybody, let them go for it.
Exactly. I mean, he just so happened to like, right after doing that, he broke up with her like a week later, kind of thing. But yeah.
Hmm.
But no, definitely my parents don't know that I have a YouTube thing. They don't know that I stream. I'm not going to let them know because then they're going to want to know what I do, and then I've got to worry about tailoring my stuff to be somewhat. I've got to do stuff with the knowledge that my parents might see this. Like already, that is already kind of a thing in the back of my mind. Like, what if my dad does see this? I can't make a video about me checking out hardware because I just found out that he watches that kind of stuff on YouTube. He he
Yeah.
he doesn't fully understand why people like donate and do super chats for the people who are streaming. That people actually stream going around Home Depot and Lowe's and whatnot, and just sort of like pointing out tools and talking about them.
Yeah. People have their own wants.
Yeah,
They want to know about X, Y, or Z appliance.
yeah, and talk about the sales and everything. Like, I totally get it. I think it's somewhat cool, but at the same time, I never actually thought about that being a thing.
Honestly, I just my philosophy when it comes to the internet is that everything already exists. You just haven't looked hard enough for it.
Hmm. I was just going to make a joke about like porn of the new Resident Evil character villain lady, but then again, no, that's definitely a thing. I, everyone's
It,
over.
it was it was a thing, and there is no greater force in this world than that of porn artists on the internet. They are fast and they are ruthless.
Yeah. I actually haven't watched the full trailer for that game. Have you?
I have. It seems interesting.
Okay. That,
I love people's reactions to it being like, "Hey, am I supposed to be scared or horny playing this?" And my reaction to that is, "Ah, the return of the fear boner with a vengeance." But but seriously though, it does look very interesting, and I actually think it's neat that they're going like Resident Evil going away from zombies. If you told people that like 10 years ago, they would be like, Why would they ever do that?
Wait, they're going away from the zombies?
I mean, I think I heard that Madame What's Her Face is a vampire.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't remember seeing any indication of that in the trailer. Although, no, knowing my brain, I'm just forgetting it.
That is kind of interesting. Like, now I'm wondering what, like, all the. Well, then again, there. No, there were some zombies in 7, weren't there?
Yeah, I mean, I think no matter what happens, no matter what you call them, there's always going to be some zombies in Resident Evil.
Yeah. I mean, that's the brand.
That's their bread and butter. That is them.
Yeah. Because.
You have Resident Evil 4 where it was a when did they go
It
from
was.
being a virus to a parasite?
I think that was the first time in 4. It was like, oh, it's a like the parasite is infected with T virus, and so it's a parasite made up of infected bugs or something like that. I don't fully know it
Yeah.
myself.
I mean, there's always going to be my brain has lost track. Error 404 reboot needed. Uh, when it comes to Resident Evil, I I do like that they are straying a little bit from their formula, but not so much that it's foreign like what happened with Star Wars. Did you watch that video essay that I sent you on it?
I did not get around to it yet, but
I mean, to be fair, it's over an hour long. It's basically a guy pointing out all the different reasons the why the new Star Wars failed,
the,
and he has like a laundry list checklist, and then at the end he makes his own version of the trilogy
oh,
that actually sounds really cool.
oh,
And it's basically and it doesn't use any rehashed plots. It actually uses like an enemy from like Star Wars Legends, I want to say is what he said, which was one of the graphic novels.
hmm.
It it was just an interesting watch. Although it does sound like we're probably getting close to the end of this.
I yeah, I think we've been recording for over an hour now.
Yeah, no, we have.
Yeah, but really quick, just want to point out the the thing about how EA is no longer allowed to do Star Wars games.
Oh yeah, I almost completely forgot.
Yeah,
EA lost exclusivity. I mean they can still do Star Wars games. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but they lost exclusivity
So
to the LucasArts franchises.
so it's not that they're not allowed. So it's not that they're not allowed to do Star Wars games. It's that we're actually going to get some good Star Wars games now.
It's now that it's not only EA that can make it,
Exactly, exactly. Like,
and and we already saw I think it was Ubisoft announced a open world RPG Star Wars game.
yeah. I think that's the one that did it. And then like who said that they were?
Bethesda
Yeah,
Bethesda announced that they have an Indiana Jones game in the making.
Yeah. See, I haven't really seen much in the way of Indiana Jones stuff in quite a while, so I'm actually kind of looking forward to that one. I'm my only thing is like it's Bethesda, so
Well, you you should always have that skepticism. The thing is that the reason why Bethesda was so beloved is because the glitches prior were fun.
yeah,
Now the glitches are detrimental, and instead of addressing the problem, they almost seem to actively be making it worse in a lot of cases.
yeah. But I don't know. Here's to hoping that because Microsoft bought them out, they're actually going to like fix things. I mean, probably not, but one can hope. What, did I finally make you just lose it?
No, no, no.
What?
Uh, th- this right here, and you can put it off to the side because this is exactly what Microsoft
Oh, that actually.
buying Bethesda is like.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. Wait, Did they buy ZeniMax or just Bethesda?
Well, ZeniMax Works is the parent company,
Yeah.
so it is entirely possible that they only bought Bethesda, which was underneath the ZeniMax Works, as ZeniMax can just be like, oh yeah, no, take that one.
Did Micro buy ZeniMax? Oh, no, they have ZeniMax.
Oh, you know what that means?
What?
They also now technically own the Elder Scrolls MMO.
Oh. Hmm. I haven't played that in forever.
I I was a beta tester for it. Like I went in and I had possibly one of the greatest last moments during one of the beta's closing.
Oh, same here.
So I went. All right. So I went into. So they were giving us like a timeout thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, like
And
X amount of time until the server shuts down, right?
yeah, and it was like 30 minutes, and I was just like, and I did like a region wide shout, "Hey, everyone who's left, party at the starting place."
That's I remember I responded to one of those.
Well, I was over in Skyrim.
Oh, I was a Khajiit down in the Ultimate area.
I was Nordic, but I shouted that out, and all of us like mingled and gathered together, and we were just like exchanging informations for whenever the game actually did get out. And when they gave us a 1 minute timer, one person just started dancing, and then all of us were just like trying to time our dance with the one person who started, so that way we were all in sync. So that was like the most fun that I had with it. I want to try playing it again, but it's been so
Likewise.
quiet. I feel like they hadn't done probably anything with it.
I swear I saw an ad for it just a couple of days ago, but I don't know if you have to buy that along with the base game or if it's just added on to it, like just free content to keep it alive or something. Cause I want to try out the like the Cyrodiil like open world combat because I heard that you can get like siege engines and whatnot involved, and that just sounds good.
I don't remember there being any sort of siege because the thing is that it it is a like it is an older game, and by older game I mean like they they are not. They're like in the past from the point of Skyrim, and Skyrim like just got crossbows.
But in Morrowind they had crossbows.
Did they?
Yeah. Oh, Morrowind that had crossbows, that had better customization. Like you could wear two different gloves. Have a pauldron on one shoulder, not on the other.
They had spears too.
They had spears, they had halberds, they had axes. Skyrim has axes too. But point still stands. You could get kunai, tantos, different kinds of katanas.
You could stab something and nothing would happen multiple times in a row.
That was because every time you did an attack, it did a dice roll using your stats behind the scenes. Which I can kind of understand that, but at the same time, not really. There's a bit of a dissonance in there because
I think they were going with the RPG aspect of it, where if you hit something in an RPG, it will sometimes say miss because it has to go against like their.
this was an older combat system where they could not really animate dodges and whatnot. So
yeah, and so regularly I would be using a spear and I would just see it go into a creature, and nothing would happen.
yeah, that got kind of annoying. I definitely do like the way they did magic though, and I'm usually like alone on this because if you're a novice, just
I'm not a mage in any way, shape, or form. So
eh.
there's no disagreement here.
Well, the way that they did it was there was like a spell failure thing. Like it would roll the dice, and if you scored high enough, the spell went off. If not, it used up the mana, but the spell would fail. And honestly, if you're just someone just trying to cast spells and whatnot, that's going to be different from someone who's trained up and an experienced caster. Is it frustrating? Yes. Is it logical? Yes. Does it make you want to like do training and sort of go on your own sort of journey to level up magic and
No,
well,
it makes you want to say fuck that. Give me a bow.
well maybe for you, but for me,
To be fair, I almost actively avoid mage classes in most games.
no wonder why you went for being a Nord in that game.
What I used a two-handed sword.
Eh. But I don't know. I don't know. I end up going for more like the utility spells. Dear Lord, simulator games, mech builders, and utility spells. Dear Lord, I am boring, aren't I?
And then there's me wondering what I can do to cause an explosion.
And on that note, I think we should call this session to a close.
Self-deprecation.
Self boring my audience to a slumber. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us on this arc of our journey together. I don't know when I'm going to finally finish putting this out. I still need to get the B-roll footage from you. B-roll this time provided by Mr.IHaveASword. Any final words?
Putis.
Put this somewhere else's.
It took you way too long to think of that.
I didn't want to talk into a facepalm. But anyway, this has been Arctech signing off. Oh, that's the wrong button. That was the wrong button. I ended the call without ending the recording. Ending recording. Bye.